Hi, I'm Deetra Clark, a therapist and regenerative health practitioner, and I want to talk to you today about a common problem that is not commonly diagnosed, although it is at the root of so many of the health conditions, diseases, and illnesses that we see today, and that is parasites. And in the year 2023, we are actually facing, for the last several years, to be honest, a parasite epidemic. 7 out of 10 people actually suffer from having parasites in their body, but it's never diagnosed and usually not talked about. Families, children, women, men, and this issue is because of one, a high toxic load in our bodies. So when we eat foods that are high in acidity, when we eat foods that are processed, that are high in sugar, we increase the toxicity load in our body, and parasites love that environment. They breed and really love to take up residence in our bodies when they are full of toxins and when our lymphatic systems are stagnated. So, in regenerative health, we teach people a lot that suffering is optional, and our internal terrain really we contribute to a lot of the health of what happens inside of our body. So, we are two fluids. We are 80% lymphatic fluid and 20% blood. And our lymphatic fluid is what cleans our system, and the blood is what feeds our cells, our tissues, our glands, and our organs. But when we are not eliminating properly, and when we have a lymphatic system that is stagnated, that means it is lacking in ease and flow. Parasites will build up in that, and then they will have eggs, and this keeps the process going. So I want to give you some common symptoms that indicate that there is a parasite load in the body: abdominal pain, bloating and gas, night sweats, acne or eczema or rosacea. Any kind of skin issues really are a big indicator of two things. One, that there's a high parasite load, and two, that the elimination pathways in the body are not open. So our elimination pathways are what allow toxins to leave the body. When those are not working properly, so urine, stools, the air that we breathe, the body will use the skin as the third kidney. So essentially, when we have acne, eczema, rosacea, any kind of skin irritations, that's essentially waste on the skin because it can't get out through the other elimination pathways. But because of that, it allows for parasites to set up in the body. Restless sleep, eye floaters. So if you look at a person's eye, sometimes you can see like a spot or a dark brown circle right outside of the iris that just kind of looks like it doesn't belong there. That's called a floater. That is an indicator of parasites in the body. Anxiety, because parasites attach to something called the vagus nerve, which is responsible for a lot of the communication in the neurotransmitter from the gut up to the brain: serotonin, dopamine, melatonin. But when we have parasites in the body, they will attach to the vagus nerve, leading to things like anxiety, depression, mood instability, irritability, ADHD symptoms like hypertension or difficulty concentrating, nighttime teeth grinding. So probably 7 out of 10 people will grind their teeth at night and they don't realize it. And so people that suffer from TMJ or feeling tension or pain in this area, that is because of clenching at night, but the clenching is caused by parasites. Dark circles under the eyes, frequent diarrhea, insomnia, anal itch, nutrient deficiency, or excessive thinness. So when people struggle with being able to gain weight, or they feel like, oh, I've just eaten, but I'm still hungry, I'm not satiated, that is because of a high parasite load, because parasites are absorbing the nutrients before you get to. And then some other common symptoms are things like allergies, things like inability to lose weight, because weight loss and weight gain are both because of the systems in our body. So yes, what we eat is important. Yes, the amount of calories that we're taking in, that matters, but also the quality of calories that we take in. So again, if we have a high toxic load in the body and parasites are at play, the body will not release weight to protect us. And so if it feels like it's in danger of losing too much weight or not getting what it needs, it will actually hold on to weight to protect you. So something to also be considered with weight loss or weight gain. And the parasitic kingdom, what its purpose actually is in the body is to break down what is no longer serving us. But when we're overloaded with it, it has the reverse effect. So people really freak out on this topic because they are wondering, am I going to see like actual worms in my stools? Or am I going to see things actually leaving my body? And probably 70 to 80% of parasites are microscopic, so you never actually even see them. And there are more than just flukes or worms that are parasites. And so larva is a type of parasite. That's a worm that you see in stool sometimes that looks like a cucumber seed. But you really have to be doing quite a bit of parasite cleansing before you get into seeing that. Most of the escape of the parasite you won't actually see. So I want to talk to you about some ways that parasites actually get into the body, because when we know better, we can do better. Some common ways are outside of the fact that we have a high toxic load from things like glyphosate, which is the chemical ingredient, the main ingredient in Roundup, which is sprayed on all of our food, it's in our water systems, it's in the air that we breathe. We breathe in chemicals and toxins every day, perfumes, cleaners, all those kinds of things increase the toxicity load in the body. But in addition to that, ways that parasites get in are from food. So undercooked meat, or really eating meat at all, it's very, very high in parasites because parasites are often in animals. Seafood, which is hard for people to believe because seafood is actually promoted as one of the healthier types of protein to get in. But because of the state of the water that the seafood is in, you can imagine the amount of toxins, metals, things like that get into the fish, including parasites, and that also enters our body. Raw fruits and vegetables that are not washed properly. So if you're eating fruits and vegetables, and I hope that you are, you really need to be doing some kind of soaking and cleaning of your fruits. So I like to use a combination of baking soda, and like an organic fruit and veggie wash, and then soak them in filtered water for 10 to 15 minutes and then rinse them with filtered water. Just rinsing with water is not enough to get parasites off of the food or to get glyphosate off, which glyphosate is actually water soluble, so you can't wash it off, but that's another video. The second way that parasites enter the body is through water. So our drinking water, lakes, streams, and pools. And even though pools are full of chlorine, also that's not enough to kill the parasites that are in water. Pets. So pets, we can obtain parasites from pets through their poop, but also through pet kisses, and through eggs, and also their poop. A lot of times that sticks to the fur, even if we're washing our pets, bathing our pets, and then eggs also stick to the fur of the pet. Soil. So if you have walked outside without shoes, walking barefoot in the grass, walking on the beach, people like to do something called grounding. Dirt from our pet paws from when they come in from outside, and then dirt or soil from our shoes when we come in from outside, which is why I recommend not wearing shoes in your house. Blood transfusions, because labs are only able to test for a certain amount of parasites in blood donations. Toilets. Toilets are a big carrier of parasites because pinworms can actually stick to the toilet seats and they can contaminate other areas. So think about in a restaurant per se, if there are pinworms on that public facility, and then the worker or even a guest that's eating out there uses the bathroom, doesn't wash their hands, then they go back out into the restaurant or back out into the library or whatever public facility, they are carrying those parasites on their hands, and it transfers to other surfaces. So transferring to doorknobs, transferring to handles, glasses, tables, things like that. You get the point. And then other surfaces in general. So toys, bedding, door handles, can be contaminated with pinworms. And then we also pick up parasites from other people. So hugging people, if people go to the bathroom and don't wash their hands, again, they're carrying that on their hands and passing it off to others. So holding hands with people after they've gone to the bathroom but haven't washed their hands, we pick that up. And then family members can pass parasites between each other. So I always encourage families to do a parasite cleanse together, because if one is parasite cleansing and the other members aren't, you're going to pick them right back up. And then the larva can live on bedding, can live on sheets. And so partners pass them between each other. So it's really important to understand this information and then to take action. In other countries, they do parasite cleanses probably 3 to 4 times a year. In the US, we don't, because we are in denial that we have a parasite epidemic. But I recommend people do parasite cleansing at a minimum every quarter. So every 3 months. So if you are in this community and are getting this video from me or someone else, we recommend doing the Super Cleanse R, which is a really gentle parasite cleanse, but also partnering that with an alkaline diet, because parasites hate raw foods. So partnering that with eating organic fruits, eating organic vegetables, and minimizing cooked foods, because I stated earlier in this video that parasites really love warm environments. So if you can starve them out, that's great. And then doing 2 rounds. So you do with the Super Cleanse R, you would do 10 days. And during that 10 days, you would kill off parasites, and then you'll come back in 15 to 20 days after and do another round, because parasites lay eggs. And then if this is for a child and you're watching this, and children do carry parasites as well, they pick them up from their parents, they pick them up from other kids, from toys, they pick them up from putting their hands in their mouth. So if you have nail biters, you pick them up from digging in their nose or from scratching different body parts. It's really important to do a parasite cleanse on your child too. And I recommend BioRay, and I'm happy to help with which line to use depending on the age of the child and also dependent on the symptoms that they are displaying. So this was a really brief overview. I hope that it was helpful for you. If you have questions, feel free to reach out or reach out to the person that shared this video with you for more support. Thanks for watching.